clouds are, you can see everywhere clouds. So let me explain the topic clouds today. It's a very simple, short, and usually asked in examination. UPSC do ask. It's one of the favorite topic of UPSC. So what is basically a cloud? So basically, it's an aggregation of minute water droplets. It is the combination of minute water droplets or ice particles in the air. So what happens actually is that when the air rises, it carries itself. The water droplets is carried away with the water, and when they reaches and with the dust particle, they form an agglomeration, and it becomes heavier. The water droplets gets collected over a layer, and a point comes when the water droplets will be accumulated, they will be floating, and the point will come that they will be becoming heavier, and the point when they will be heavier, it will be falling down as in precipitation. So this is a small basic about what are clouds, and what is basically uh, what is a basic principle behind the formation of cloud. Okay, so you need to know about, but when you talk about the examination point of view, especially CDS, you can see that it will be not asking you the definition. The examination board will be asking you the classification of it. They will be going one step further. So when we talk about the classification of clouds, so when you see the names, it becomes too complicated, but you need to remember a very important parameter. एक बहुत ही important चीज़ आपको ध्यान में रखनी है उसकी height. So first we'll be classifying clouds on the basis of height. Height के basis पे clouds को क्या बोला जाता है, and then we'll be moving towards a small approach of like what terminology is used for the clouds which are raining, which are just in the parts of feather like. So we'll be using different terminology, but सबसे पहला एक important चीज़ ये है कि आपको height के according classification आना चाहिए. So basically high cloud, when we talk about high clouds, so high clouds comes at a height of 5 to 13 kilometer, and basically they are called cirrus and cirrostratus. So as you can see, this is an image which will be a very important image which clarifies each and every objective of our video. So just see that high clouds are cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. So when you talk about high clouds which are at the height of 5 to 10 or 13 kilometer, you see that terminology, three clouds are used: cirrus, cirro. So cirro, cirrus, this terminology is used for high altitude clouds. Similarly, when you talk about the clouds which are in the middle, so for the terminology we say that alto is used for middle. Whenever you see a terminology which says nimbo, okay, or which says stratus, so stratus means layers. So this terminology will be helping you out to differentiate different types of clouds. Okay, so when we come back to our image, we found that cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. So when we have seen the high altitude clouds, those are of three types. और जो उनका जो डिस्टेंस होता है वो ऑलमोस्ट 5 से 13 किलोमीटर तक का होता है हाइट में, अगर अपन देखें तो. और सीरस, सीरो और सीरोस्ट्रेटस क्लाउड्स, दीज आर बेसिकली व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट सीरस, first is that they are fiber like, they are hair like. You can see in this image they are hair like spread over at the topmost notch. And when we talk about cirrocumulus, cumulus means patches, globules. So you can see that the cirrus and cirrocumulus are differentiated when you see the patches in the clouds. So that is cirrocumulus. These are the patches. Cirrus, that is a feather or hair like structure. And when we talk about the stratus, this is basically a thin layer of clouds. Okay, so when we talk about high altitude clouds, these are three types of clouds. There are three clouds: सबसे ऊपर cirrus, then cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. You need to remember three things. The word cumulus is used for small globules, stratus is used for the layers, and cirrus is used for the feather like structure. If you know this terminology, will be easily differentiate the things. Okay, the same thing will be used in the different classification in the middle part also. As I've told you that for the middle part we have used the terminology that is the altocumulus. Alto was the word which was used for middle height clouds, and when we know that cumulus was the word used for the globules. So these clouds will be in the form of globules in the middle height. That's why they are called altocumulus. Alto means middle, and cumulus means they are in the form of globules. Similarly, when we talk about altostratus, alto here means in the middle, and stratus means they are in the form of thin layer. Okay, so this is how you classify the clouds. So here it is that when we talk about the high clouds, they will be at the height of 5 to 13 kilometer. They will be differentiated in cirrus, cirrostratus, and cirrocumulus. Cirrocumulus clouds are also called mackerel sky. Okay, when we talk about middle clouds, the height is 2 to 7 kilometers. And as I've said you, whenever you see alto, where alto, the word alto, not the car, so you will be saying that it's a middle cloud. The height will be 2 to 7. When we talk about low clouds, basically 0 to 2 kilometers is the height. Those are stratus, nimbo stratus. Now one more terminology is here, that nimbo. So basically, when you see the word nimbo, it means that these are the dark clouds which are having some rain. They will be precipitate. Whenever you see the word nimbo, for example, in here you can see cumulonimbus. So these are the clouds that will definitely precipitate. Okay, जो भी रेन होती है वो निम्बस स्ट्रेटस, मैक्सिमम रेन जो प्रेसिपिटेशन होता है वो निम्बो स्ट्रेटस क्लाउड से ही होता है. ओके, सो दिस वॉज आवर लो क्लाउड्स. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द वर्टिकल, एक और क्लासिफिकेशन का पैरामीटर होता है कि वर्टिकल डेवलपमेंट में कुछ क्लाउड्स होते हैं जो आप देखें तो हाइट में बहुत ही, तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एज यू कैन सी इन दिस इमेज इज क्यूमुलो निम्बस. नाउ एज वी हैव डिस्कस द टर्मिनोलॉजी क्यूमुलो nimbus. So here the word nimbus is also coming, which shows that this cloud will be precipitating and these clouds are responsible for the thunderstorm and जो बहुत तेज़ रेनफॉल आता है, क्लाउड बर्स्ट होते हैं. और इसकी स्पेशलिटी ये होती है कि जो बेस होती है वो फ्लैट होती है एंड इट फॉर्म्स अ वर्टिकल हाइट ऑफ ह्यूज वर्टिकल हाइट. यू कैन सी वेरी बहुत ही फ्लफ़ी से कॉलीफ्लावर जैसे बड़े बड़े फ्लैट बेस के साथ इनकी हाइट होती है. So this is how you differentiate the clouds, and you need to remember the terminology used. So when we talk about the cloud, if a question comes that the cloud which are responsible for thunderstorm, okay, and does have an height vertically, they are so much height is so large, so we can say that that is cumulonimbus cloud. When we talk about cumulus clouds, as we have studied that the terminology cumulus was for globules जो होते हैं ये जो देख रहे हैं आप, तो अगर ये यहाँ पे वर्टिकल डेवलपमेंट इनका फॉर्मेशन होता है तो दे आर जस्ट कॉल्ड क्यूमुलस क्लाउड. एंड स्ट्रेटस, एज वी हैव डिस्कस द टर्मिनोलॉजी, व्हेन दे आर फाउंड एट द वेरी लो हाइट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ थिन लेयर, जो आप सन और मून के इसमें हेलो देखते हैं वो भी इन्हीं स्ट्रेटस क्लाउड्स का ही होता है. सो दिस वॉज ऑल अबाउट सम क्लाउड्स. यू नीड टू जस्ट रिमेंबर सम थिंग्स दैट निम्बो स्ट्रेटस क्लाउड्स आर द डार्क एंड द थिकेस्ट रेन क्लाउड्स. जो रेन फॉल अपन देखते हैं जो होता है जनरली जब स्काई पूरा डार्क हो जाता है, आपको डिफ्रेंशिएट नहीं कर पाते आप क्लाउड्स में कि सब जगह क्लाउड्स दिखते हैं, दैट इज निम्बो स्ट्रेटस. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द वर्टिकल डेवलपमेंट, इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्लाउड है क्यूमुलोनिम्बस. दीज आर हैवी रेनफॉल, थंडर, लाइटनिंग एंड हेल टॉर्नेडोज. इनका फ्लैट टॉप होता है और फ्लैट बेस होता है और हैवी शॉवर्स होते हैं. जब भी एकदम सडनली दिन में अगर आप देखो कि क्लाउड बहुत ही तेज़ी से रेन आती है और उस वो क्लाउड जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है रेन के लिए, दैट इज क्यूमुलोनिम्बस. एंड व्हेन वी डिफरेंशिएट इट विद द निम्बो स्ट्रेटस, what happens in nimbo stratus is that it is a dark thick cloud and usually rain is not so much fast or heavy rainfall. The rainfall intensity is in the medium somewhere. So these were some terminologies and you need to remember just the classification. First parameter is the height, then you should go for the terminologies like alto is for middle. nimbo जहाँ पे भी दिखेगा वहाँ पे वो rainfall cloud होगा, dark होगा. और जहाँ पे आपको strata दिख रहा है, strata that is basically the layers, thin layers. and जहाँ पे आपको cirrus दिख रहा है, that is fibrous hair like structure. So when we talk about some questions like we see that सबसे टॉप मोस्ट क्लाउड्स कौन से होते हैं जो सबसे हाइट पे होते हैं, दोज आर सीरस, स्ट्रेटस आर द लोएस्ट वन. एंड क्वेश्चन बेसिकली यही आता है कि रेनफॉल के लिए कौन सा रिस्पॉन्सिबल है क्लाउड. तो दैट इज बेसिकली अगर ऑप्शन यू कैन फाइंड निम्बो वर्ड देन गो फॉर दैट वर्ड. ओके, क्विक रेनफॉल के लिए क्यूमुलोनिम्बस होते हैं. एंड जनरली द क्यूमुलोनिम्बस इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज थंडरस्टॉर्म एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स एंड the way the cloud is made, like the structure of the cloud is very prominent. That's why usually though that can be asked in the examination. I think as far as clouds is considered, these are the basics of clouds. And when you talk about the classification, these are the favorite part of various examination boards, and especially when you talk about UPSC CDS में पूछता है, ये CAPF में भी ऐसे क्वेश्चन देखे गए हैं और सिविल सर्विसेज में तो क्लाउड्स से आते ही हैं क्वेश्चन. सो दिस वॉज अ बेसिक नॉलेज अबाउट क्लाउड्स. आई होप कुछ चीज़ें समझ में आई होंगी, कुछ नहीं बहुत हद तक बहुत सारी चीज़ें समझ में आई होंगी. एंड यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द टर्मिनोलॉजीज ऑल्सो. सीरस मीन्स फेदर लाइक, उनको मदर ऑफ पर्ल भी बोलते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ऐसा भी पूछा जा सकता है कि मदर ऑफ पर्ल किन क्लाउड्स को बोलते हैं, या टर्मिनोलॉजी कैसी, इस क्लाउड को क्या बोला जाता है, दैट कैन बी ऑल्सो आस्क्ड.